Good morning. This is teacher Jacob, and this class for today it's about unit 5. So we're going to start unit 5. So remember, you can put pause if you don't understand. Write the question and then you give me to me. For example, I'm going to do pause one moment. So in this unit, it's going to be about the animals. So question number 1 is, what is your favorite animal? Okay, so keep in mind that because we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about pets, wild animals, domestic animals, and so on. Uh, don't forget, today it's May 29th. So you need to write on your book May 29, and you're gonna do this activity. Okay, so today the class is a reading class, or you can write the date on your notebook. For example, today is May 29th, 2020. So it's mandatory. I mean, it's an obligation, okay? So don't forget this. You need to write the date, May 27, 2020. That's what I want you to do it. So activity 1 in unit 1, it's I want to see you tell me about your favorite animal. Remember this. Tell me about your favorite animal. So this unit is going to talk about animals. So animals, we have two kinds of animals. We have domestic and we have like wild animals, like angry animals, right? So we're gonna talk about, or we need to describe the animals. We need to know, so how, for example, how are the dogs in the city? In our city, we have several dogs. We have different races. We have different sides of the dogs because there are some small dogs and there are big dogs and so on. So remember, and something very important in this, it's your and my responsibility when I have, pets in my house. So before this, let's talk about pets. So we have different animals, domestic, and let's talk about domestic animals. So let's go about pets. For example, that's a good question. What is your favorite pet or your favorite animal? In my case, I like dogs. Dogs are friendly. Dogs are very loyal. Dogs are very cute, some, and dogs are like for me are like some and some friends. They can't talk, but they help you in some ways. If you are sad, you talk with the dog. You give pawns. You take care of the dog. But when you have a dog, you have responsibilities to do. For example, in my case, I have two dogs. One is Chaplin and the other is Lucas. And these are my responsibilities with my dogs. 1, I have to pick up every day their puppies. You know, puppies I had to pick up every day. I have to feed, I have to put food for them to eat. Water, also I have to put water in a special bowl, and then the dogs can drink. And it's like an obligation every day to get out the house with the dogs. I mean, walking, to go for a walking, you know. It's mandatory to take your dogs and gives a walking around your neighborhood, because they get stressed and because they need to move, they need to walk, they need to do their necessities, okay? And that's why. So when we're talking about animals, we talk about pets, we talk about domestic, in this case, and wild animals. For example, we have another animals that those animals are not domestic, or well, perhaps they are domestic, but we use for food, like cows. You know, cows can give us milk, cheese, but also cows can give us meat. So we eat animals. We are eater animals. Wow, it sounds like eater meat. I mean, people who like to eat meat. We call in English meat eaters. Meat eaters, people who eat meat. Okay, so and we are in that part. Conclusion. This unit is about animals, and this is what we're going to study in this unit. This is the value. This is what you need. You and me, we need to learn. Compassion. Compassion. It means compassion. It means when you see a dog and you say, "Oh, my little dog, I don't have to hit you. I have to take care of you. You are my friend, my little friend." In some ways, compassion for animals is a sign of our humanity. I mean, when you see a dog, you need to take care. Don't destroy. Don't kill. Don't even though if you got food, you can give the dog. All right. So now let's talk about that. So let's talk about Unit 5 is about the animals. So animals and antics. And the values mean the compassion that we have with the animals. So we are not gonna work in group. Exercise 1. Work in groups. Discuss ways to help animals in your community. That's a good question. So you are going to answer the question, how can you help animals in your community? You know, how can you help animals in your community? Could be dogs, horses, cats, chickens, why not? Sheep, you know, sheep could be. Goats could be. Well, all the animals are around you. How can you help them? 2. Share your group's ideas with the class. Vote in the 3 ideas. So number 2 is choose one, but number 2 is not necessary because we don't have a group here. So, but you're gonna do something for me. You're gonna choose the animal, and you're gonna tell me how can you help the animals in your community or in your neighborhood, or how can you help your animals in your house. If you have a pet, how can you help the pet? How can you help the dog or the cat? Even the fish, how can you help? It's a good idea. How can we help the animals? All right, so Activity 2 is let's reading this. Let's have a reading, okay? So notice this. Which is the right pet for you? Alright, so we need to choose. It's a good question too. Talking about domestic animals, which is the best pet for you? Which is the correct pet for you? Cats, dogs, or what? So let's read this and you understand this, okay? Let's go. One moment. Ready? So let's go to the animals. We were talking about the animals and we talk about the pets. So activity 1, it's we need to write one of these titles or headings. 1, food health, choosing a pet, or pets corner in this, correct. So it could be one of them in this part. So let me read for you. Activity 1, listen and read mentally. Okay? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. The United States is a nation of pet lovers. Over 69 million homes have pets, including 73 million dogs and 90 million cats. A Department of Health study showed that keeping a pet is good for people's health. Still, owning a pet is a lot of responsibility. The Humane Society of the United States takes in thousands of abandoned animals each year. If you are ready to commit to taking care of a pet, it is important to choose the right one for your lifestyle. Dogs and cats are the most popular pets. Dogs are great idea for people who have time to spend with their pets. They need exercise, regular walks, so they are good for people who have a yard or live in rural areas. Do you love running around the house, around outside, wagging their tails, chasing a ball, and playing with other dogs? Dogs are not for everyone, though some breeds lose a lot of hair. This can be bad news for people with allergies. Dogs also need a lot of attention, especially young and small dogs. They often bark loudly or dig holes in the yard when they are bored. Dogs need a lot of training to stay out of the trouble. Many people decide having one is too much work. Cats require less work than dogs. They are usually very clean. They are quiet and independent too. People who live in small apartments may prefer owning a cat. Some cats like playing with their owners. But, unlike dogs, cats are also comfortable being alone. However, cats sometimes jump into chairs and tables and scratch things, including your best furniture. Some cats like climbing trees. The problem is that they can't always get down again. Also, most cats lose a lot of hair so they aren't the best choice for people with allergies. If you are ready to commit to owning a dog or a cat, consider adopting one in need of a home. Your local animal shelter is a good place to start, right? So in this Unit 5, we're going to talk about animals, but especially this reading talks about dogs, the animals, talks about the pets, about the dogs, and about the cats. So notice, this reading is explaining how are the dogs and how are the cats and the characteristics of these pets, and we need to take care of that, you know. So tell me, you have two options. Which is your favorite one? In your case, you choose one, a cat or a dog, and you tell me why. You see, why do you like the dog? All right, so according to this, we have on page 55, we need to complete. All right, we need to do the comprehension, but it's for the next class. Today, I want is first you do several exercises. Number one, of course, you answer question number one. And number two, what I need you do is activity 1 on page 54. It's you need to underline the unknown words. Remember, if you want to understand about any reading, what you need to do in other ideas is to just to let me see if we can you see well. So number one is underline the unknown words. So number one is you need to words that you don't understand, you're gonna underline. For example, I don't understand wish, so I underline wish. I don't understand lowers, so I underline lowers because I don't understand. Activity 2 is the opposite. So I want is you copy 20 no words. You noted this? 20 words. So 20 words that you understand. In this case, for example, I understand the article the. United States. I know, so I copy the United States. 3. And then 4 is 4. 4. Another. So 20. Only 20 words that you understand from the reading, okay? Nothing else. And finally, you are going to circle the verbs. So in this reading, you are going to circle the whole verbs. So number one, for example, is a verb. So you give circle in a verb, okay? Are is a verb, so you give circle. So there are 3 activities for this page 54, Unit 5. One is underline the noun words, you know. 2, copy 20 words that you understand. And 3, circle the verbs, all the verbs in present or in past tense. It doesn't matter, okay? That's what I need you to do it. I need this you complete. I mean, you copy. All right? So bye-bye. The class is over for today. See you. Bye-bye.